Well, hello there again. This is Rafi Pinsky, and today we have another episode of Soothing Semantics. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, leave your comments. Come on now. And for the 131st episode of the pod, we have a very light skinned Persian Jew. His family's from Iran, dude. It's weird. Yeah. But he is yeah. Both your parents are Iranian.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them are Persian. So he blends in well to the Ashkenazi side. You'd have no idea. Very inconspicuous. Today we have a guy named Ol. Okay, for the Americans, or like when you're rowing your boat. And or is a friend of a friend, now a friend, who is originally from Israel. Congratulations, we have another Israeli on my show. And
Shalom.
yes, shalom to you, sir. So, Or has done importing and exporting for quite a while, for around 10 years. And something that we really want to get into today is the idea of longevity. Okay, and the idea of longevity is many of us would like to live longer, so long as we don't hate our lives. And we'd like to know how long we can extend life for, right? So 120 years has been the supposed limit since the beginning of time, right? I mean, we claim that in biblical times people lived longer, who knows, but 120 has always been the limit. We don't have to get into the import and export too much, unless you care to.
We could.
Sure. Give us a little recap of what you did and how you went from that to taking this interest in longevity.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, brother. Nice to have you.
So yeah, I started like 10 years ago the things with the import and export, like mostly from China. Also manufacturer, wholesale, retail, all of this thing. 3 years ago when COVID came, so basically I shut down my business for like 1 year. So I sit at home, and when you sit in home and with yourself, you have time to think. And that's the whole idea came to me. That was the start over there through COVID. And I was wondering and thinking to myself, when you sit home, you're wondering of this world and what's all about. And I started to do my research, and it's just came to me like why we dying, right? And if we can do something about it. So I started my research, my journey. People join me through the way, and yeah, that was the start.
Interesting. Okay. So where have you gotten, because this is something that everyone wants to know about. From the beginning of this research and this interest, what are some breakthroughs that you maybe have come to, some conclusions you've made, and what is the overall space? What are people in the longevity space, say scientists, researchers, analysts, what have they discovered that is currently going on right now? What are certain things they're working on now, and what are projections over the next, say, 5 to, 20 years?
Okay, so first of all, we need to ask ourselves like 3 questions. The first question is if. The second question is why. And the third question, that what you're asking, is how. So the how is obviously complicated. We're trying to figure it out for
it makes it a lot more
years.
serious when you do the thing with your lips. You're about to say something very exciting. It's good.
So the first question, if it's not anymore a question, it's yes. Can we live longer? Yes. If immortality is nearby, maybe, but we can extend human life. That's the answer. It's yes. We did it in mice, we did it in worms. We can play one genes and extend the life in 30%, 50%. So I know we may seem like different from animals, but we actually are not. We are really similar. Our genes are really similar. So if we do that in mice and worms, we can do that in human too. It's just a matter of time and a desire. The second question is why, which is important because two things. So first of all, when the why gets stronger, the how gets easier. You need to know what you're doing, what you do. And also, there's differences between our why. For example, if you're doing that because you like life, you want to enjoy, you want to extend your time here. So what if I'm telling you you're gonna extend your life, but you're gonna be sick? So you're gonna have second thoughts if you want to do that, right? Which we call health span. There's a lifespan and health span.
Lifespan and health span. Right. Okay.
But if you're acting because you're curious from curiosity or from self-fulfillment or for other reasons.
Self-fulfillment?
Yeah. That you want to achieve more, you want to discover more, you want to see more, maybe you want to go out, you want to see the future, you're curious about the technology that's coming out. So even if you're not 100% healthy, you may want to stay here on Earth rather to discover what's coming out. So for me, it starts from sadness. I can't accept anymore the death thing in the world, so I want to do something about it. And then it turned out to anger. How you take a sublime mind and basically crashing into the dust, to the ground, be food for worms. But then through the journey, through time, it became more for curiosity. Like when you study more biology and you find out more about this world, so it's become like a puzzle. I want to solve this puzzle. I want to see what's going on, what we can discover. I want to see human being on the stars, on the galaxies, spreading. So that's basically my main reasons. So the question of how. So this is the thing. That's the trillion dollar question, right? So I opened my page, like my movement, like Beat Death, 3 years ago, to do several things. First of all, to raise the idea that human being not accept the concept of death anymore in this world, and to try to convince and aware a movement to people to act in that way, because people they are busy with the daily stuff, chasing after the money, the rent, their expenses, and not stopping to think that eventually you're gonna die. So they run to achieve as much as they can't. But we say like, hey, maybe we can buy more time. Maybe we can get more time.
But if time was infinite, would there be any desire to get things done? If we knew we could just have as much time as we need, then where would the motivation be to actually achieve things?
So you're asking me if I know our marriage gonna last forever, so why we shouldn't get married? I mean, we're not saying that you have to live as much as you can. We just want to have your you have options. Like, it's not gonna be our destiny. You can choose. You want to keep your life, por favor.
Right. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'd like to have the option to live till 200 if I want to.
I mean, that's the plan. So if you decided that you don't want to continue anymore, so nobody gonna stop you. Stop at the pills or other treatments, whatever.
Okay. I have so many questions though. What do you think about the Bible, the Torah, all of the religions saying that 120 is the last year, the highest year? Do you believe that that's some sort of God-given law that like he only lets humans live that long? Supposedly, Moshe, like Moses and other people, lived longer. That's what they say. Do you think there's any truth to that, or do you think that's all a fairy tale?
So, first of all, we need to understand that the religious solution is a solution for death fear. So you say we're gonna die, so we're gonna go to heaven, afterlife. So it's a solution to calm our mind about the fear of death. That's the basics of the religious solution. But the truth is the religion doesn't speak about. I will explain. Let's say, rather to your question. So in the Torah it says in the Gemara how we can go to the doctor if we're sick, if it's God desire to go to the doctor, like it's God will that you be sick. So why you going to the doctor? It's against God will, right? So the Torah is allowed to go to the doctor because God maybe give the problem, but it also give the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the Torah, shortly, right? Actually, the vision of the future is that people gonna live forever.
Right.
ובילה מוות לנצח, ומחה השם דמעה מעל כל פנים. That's death be gone. Also in Christianity too. The last enemy, death, etc. But the vision of Judaism is what I'm saying. People gonna live forever physically in this world. So like basically the heaven is not a spiritual world, it's physical world, little bit different what we know, but it's a physical world. That's the Judaism vision, shortly. So the religious people need to join more to rather to achieve that dream, to achieve that vision.
Interesting. That's interesting because maybe they believe that God has to be, the one who decides that, and we can't be that. Let me finish. So you're gonna have, I think, two different kinds of Jews. You're probably gonna have 1,500 different opinions. But let's say there's two opinions. You're gonna have one opinion that says no, it's not supposed to work that way. We're not supposed to intervene or get in the way. If God wants us to live longer, He'll do it. And then there's the other kinds of Jews, like you and I, who believe that is our duty. This is our hishtadlut, to maybe push that forward with science and understanding and innovation, that we can actually make that a real thing. So how do we actually do this?
Okay.
Well, maybe I skipped something. Do you want to go to the why first? I mean, the why. Well, you gave.
No, I explained the why. Yeah.
You gave a lot of whys already.
So now, how obviously it's complicated. So my page is Beat Death. I divided the page for groups. Each groups is another section of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We have so the deterioration of stem cells. Mitochondria does not functioning when we age. Our immune system goes down, etc. So it's like a car with a lot of problems, and we need to fix each problems individually or systematically to do one thing that improve all the system in once. So we have basically two strong tools. So the first tool is the easy tools. It's like medications. It's called geroprotectors. Geroprotectors.
Geroprotector? How do you spell it?
GREO protectors.
GREO?
Gero.
I'll look it up.
Okay. Geroprotectors, which is medication that we seen on research that they have potential to increase to do life extension, help us to live longer. Like some research on metformin, resveratrol, etc. Also supplements that can change some molecules in our cells, that can fix some infection in the cells. But we need to know one thing, that all the supplements we know right now, they miss real human trials. So we exactly now we on the line between the abyss or the future, you know. So we need to do more trials, more human trials about supplements, like spermidine, like NMN.
What are those things?
Like spermidine is basically it's a molecular that increasing your autophagy in your body through the time. So autophagy is like when the cells they have a system in the system cells when you destroy themselves when they understand the cells is not functioning like 100% anymore, so the body destroy them.
Okay.
That so spermidine is supposed to increase your autophagy in the cells and give you a more clean body.
So pretty much it destroys the old cells, so you constantly have better and improved cells.
Yep. Also some medication for senescent cells. Like senescent cells is important for the body, but when we age, some of them cause a lot of problems. So this medication for senescent that kill the senescent cells and improve your system. What else? So that's the first tool.
Okay. Well,
Geoprotectors.
Does this play a role in rejuvenation? So it pretty much is. You're getting rid of old cells, but say with an organ, say your liver stops working, instead of a liver transplant, which doesn't always work, can you rejuvenate your liver? Right? You can cut a worm's head off, the head grows back, or you cut the tail off, the tail grows back. Is there going to be a way with what you're talking about where the liver can actually rejuvenate itself? Where it can like grow, repair itself?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All the body, not just specific organ.
Stem cells?
So yeah, stem cells is one of the problem that we miss stem cells as we age. So maybe stem cells therapy. Okay, so I'm getting to the second tool. So this is the first tool, geoprotectors. We need to do more human trials. We need to check them more. What we think they have potential, what is really works. So because sometimes it works on mice, but it doesn't work in humans.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to check it out. So that's our vision for the next 10 years, to check all the supplements we think there is a real potential to extend human life.
Okay.
The second tool, which is the strongest tool in this war, like Ray Kurzweil say, we are in a war, so we need to know our tools. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the second tool, which is the strongest tool, is gene therapy. Right? Gene therapy is systematically we're gonna do all the cells together, make him younger, or make the aging process slower. Several things like I would say. So let's say some companies that I know so we have the cells, right? You know Yamanaka factors?
No.
Shinya Yamanaka was a Nobel Prize winner.
Okay.
So he discovered that you can take 4 factors in cells, change them, and bring them back to stem cells, any cells in your body. So through this process, the cells not just becoming stem cells, is also becoming younger. It's becoming new.
Interesting. Okay.
So, but if you're gonna make all your body stem cells, you're gonna die, right? So what they're trying to do is to play with these factors, but halfway down, not all the way. So they're gonna bring the cells back, but not to stem cells. So it's gonna be the cell is gonna be younger, but it's still gonna stay the cells is it and not coming back to stem cells. Okay. So that's one of the things. Also, of course, gene editing, right? But those things are hard to the body, because it's gonna a lot of if you run a trial right now, like a lot of people gonna die.
Really?
Yeah. If you do it in mice, like a lot of mice dying, right? So, but we need to understand, like right now, in the average, 150,000 people dying every day.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you run a trial, you're not gonna get these numbers, right? Let's say 1,000 people gonna die on the trial, but maybe we can save each day 150,000 people. It's a moral question.
That is a complicated question.
Yep.
So the thing is, how do you resolve the overpopulation problem?
So the overpopulation problem is actually not a problem. Let's say, for example, you have a grandma,
Okay.
not you, someone else. You have a grandma. She's sick. Take her to a hospital. The hospital says, "Hey, we don't have a place, so go out and die outside of the hospital."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody say that, right? You're gonna find solution. Put it in the hallway. Put another bed.
Right.
I don't know. You find solution. So the place problem is not actually a problem. We need to find solutions, right? But right now,
also, do you think we have enough? Do you think the Earth has enough resource? Because you're going to pretty much have. I mean, the world population is going to grow tremendously.
yeah. So like 100 years ago, all 1 of 3 child were died in the birth, right? So and eventually we understand how to keep them alive. So nobody says, oh, it's gonna be population exploding, because we invented the condoms. We invented other things that stop to bring us 100 children. But if you speak about the place is not a problem. Right now, we just human being just working like 5% of Earth. If you look in the map, there's plenty of place. Deserts. You can put people on seas. Eventually, with time, we're gonna expand to the universe. To the stars, to the moon.
Yeah, we have an infinite universe.
We have infinity place. It's so why people ask those questions is because the story about the fox and the grapes, the sour grapes.
No.
So the fox want to eat the grapes, but the grapes was so tall, so he give up, and he said, doesn't matter. Anyway, this grapes is probably sour.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone cannot achieve something he want, he trying to find excuses why not. So no, we shouldn't live longer because we out of sources. We're not gonna have a place. There's no meaning in life, as I said before,
right,
etc. But now we know that we can do that. So I think this question is gonna be, we're gonna see them disappear from the world.
It's pretty crazy, but how many years do you think we can add? Like, how soon do you think it's gonna happen, where we can pretty much guarantee that we could, let's say, add another 10 years, 20 years?
So 10 years you can add now. If you eat right and you exercise and you live healthy, you can add 10 years in your life.
Well, you can, but it's still not guaranteed. Like
No, nothing is guaranteed. Like you can go across the street and bus can eat you. So nothing is guaranteed. But let's say if you give me money, right, unlimited money right now, how many years I can bring to you, extend you my life? I would say under the 50, under the 50.
Wow, that's crazy. So why aren't there people living like that right now? Because they just don't have the knowledge yet. Because you have people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. They have enough money to pay for the research. So
Elon Musk doesn't believe in the idea. It's actually people need to die. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He said that several times. So that's why the longevity community ate him.
Interesting.
Jeff Bezos actually just invested recently $3 billion Altos Labs. He did like a really smart things. He takes all the smart guys in the world that correlating to aging and longevity. One of them is Shinya Yamanaka. And he say basically to the labs, from now on, you're working for me.
Okay.
Also Israeli guy, Yuri Milner. Yuri Milner.
Sounds familiar.
Yuri Milner, like some Russian Jewish, I think it's Jewish, Israeli, Russian. So they invested like $3 million last year.
Million or billion?
$3 billion last year.
Okay.
Also, Google invested in 2013, $1.5 billion.
Holy shit.
But that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah.
It's just a drop in the sea.
Wow, that's so crazy.
So why people not doing that? Because they don't believe in the idea. So that's one of the reasons why we start this movement, that people gonna believe and want and act more in this way. Like bring more money to the field, bring more investors, brings more research to the field, to aging. So a lot of people speak about aging. I'm speaking about death, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just aging. Aging obviously is the major factor for all the deadly diseases, right? But yeah, we also focus in deadly diseases like cancer, like heart diseases, which is the most deadly diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them correlated to aging, right? But not just to aging. So we want to stop all death in the world.
It's just a wild concept to me. So do you also think that there's a way that once someone dies, you can bring them back?
Bring them back to life. So there's also one of the groups is also Plan B group.
Okay.
Plan B, it's mean a lot of people say we don't believe that we can achieve that in our life. We don't believe in the idea for live longer to live forever. So we need a second plan. We need a plan B. So that's where you go into cryonic preservation, all this stuff that cryonic preservation, no? When you freeze when you died, you freeze your body. There's 3 companies in the US.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one is Alcor in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You can look in my YouTube channel. I have a private tour over there.
Oh, so they freeze it, hoping that down the road they'll come up with some sort of invention to be able to bring them back to life.
Exactly.
Do you think that's possible?
We seen for nature that it's possible. Some frogs that's frozen for 1 year, frozen, and back to life.
How?
So when we look in nature, let's say like
nature shows us everything.
Yeah,
It's
you should look at my group zoology in my page.
Okay.
I bring all the weird stuff from our world.
Iguanas too, by the way. Iguanas also are somewhat.
A lot of strange animals. Like the most familiar is the immortality jellyfish.
Okay.
That she's not dying. Also the hydra. Some animals that doesn't get cancer. Or elephant. A lot. Some sharks can live for 400 years.
Really?
Yeah. So we need to look it out what the body do and copy it to our species.
That's what's so interesting is animals, all of them teach us something.
Yeah.
All of them have certain natures, all of them have certain instincts, so we can learn from all of them. It's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, the longevity discussion is very interesting, man, because there's a lot of people that I would want to live longer. I would want to live longer. As long as my life is going the way it's going and there's constant progression and I'm doing more things, because, for instance, being a grandfather or a great-grandfather, you don't have that many years to do that. Unless you got married young, your kids got married very young, your your grandchildren, unless everybody in the family gets married young, you might not be a grandfather till your 60s or late 50s or whatever it is. So then at that point, you want to have as many years as you can to enjoy that. If you can live till 150, you can be a grandfather for a long time. You can see your great-grandchildren, maybe even your great-great-grandchildren. It's pretty awesome.
Indeed. So how we do that? If you ask me my vision, if you want to hear my vision is to open one place which bring all the people that already work in some subject and bring them together for one place. Because let's say what Altus Lab did. Altus Lab, what they did, they took all the greatest mind in the world in this field and say you work for me now, right?
Yeah.
But they still staying in the labs. So you may think, oh, probably he knows what he's doing, and this guy know what is this doing in this lab. But after I'm going to labs, I'm taking films, I'm talking with people, talking with scientists, entrepreneurs, biotech companies, and you realize that they don't have communication with each other. They have no idea what the other guy's doing. Maybe it's like they want to keep things, secrets, or they just don't know. So to bring all the potential things that we can do to bring it to one place, some longevity center, maybe here in Florida.
There's nothing here.
So there's nothing in the world that
there's no longevity center. There's got to be a research center.
There's aging research, like in universities and some biotech companies that do specific, like here you have a Chimera that does the exosomes. You have also some guys that started not long time ago the plasmapheresis here in Florida.
Wow.
But no, not a lot actually. So to bring all of the people I know, and I don't know obviously all of them, to one place to do all the interactions together and run trials on this, I think it's obviously it's big money, but we can start small and grow up, and we can bring human life to 150 now with what we know.
150 would be crazy. 150 would be so crazy. I'm trying to picture what that's like.
And of course, when we speak 150, we're not speaking you're gonna be old from your 60 until you're 150.
Right, you're gonna be younger. You're gonna live a younger life.
Yeah, your younger and your healthy life gonna be just extended. So instead to get deadly diseases in your 60, 70, you're gonna get them in your 120, 130.
So you just have a lot more years of good years.
Good years, you could travel the world, you can do more stuff. Maybe you can go to university in your 90s. Yeah.
That's crazy. Imagine 90-year-olds just you'll see them very rarely. You'll see like these really old people doing workouts. But imagine everyone in their 90s was like going to the gym, lifting weights. That'd be crazy. Wow, okay. So do you think this is going to be very expensive in the beginning, where only the rich people are going to have access to this?
Absolutely, like everything, like the medication, specific cancer medication. Right now, it's like $1 million cure. Yeah, but eventually, like everything else, like the iPhone. I don't know, iPhone is not a good example.
So do you think that there are very wealthy people right now that are doing things that are going to make them live longer? We're not just talking about like eating healthy and maybe taking some kind of these supplements, or they have some sort of technology like stem cell stuff or whatever that they're doing on them.
So they're trying. But as I say, there's none, almost zero human trials on the potential things.
That's true.
Also, it's a lot of bullshit in this field. So you need to, some people that I know, close friends, that they used to do like stem cell therapy, which is big bullshit, because it's not actually work, because there's not actually intervention in your body. I'm not saying like stem cell therapy is a bullshit. I'm just saying what they do, it's not real thing. But because if you're gonna try the real thing, a lot of people gonna die through the trial, right?
Why is that?
Because it's dangerous. Right. It's like until we figure out the right formula how to do it, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to practice on people, and some people are
you're gonna practice on mice, obviously on people, and eventually for all the population. That's the goal.
All right.
If you're asking me what is the most promising thing right now, what we should do right now, we should start with the things that they have the most potential, and they have the less side effect. So as you mentioned before, like organ transplant, right? We can do. It's not easy to make a heart transplant, right? But we can transplant the blood. We can make the blood younger.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right, like in 3 ways. Like say, like I mentioned before, like plasmapheresis, which you take your plasma out
Mm-hmm.
and you place it in your albumin, so it makes your blood fresh, which is zero side effect because this process already done in some illnesses, so we know it's safe.
That's amazing.
So we can do it right now. Also, young blood, right, in the future, and also to strong some stem cells or some factors in your blood that rejuvenate your blood producing in your body.
Mm.
So this is the three ways how we can make the blood younger. When we make the blood younger, it may be that the whole body gonna act differently because the blood is all over the place.
Uh-huh.
So I would start from there. It's also highly connecting to the immune system, which is the biggest problem in aging when our immune system goes down. So that's all the deadly diseases popping up.
Yeah, and then you have to take all these supplements or hormones, TRT, or worse. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This is a super interesting topic, dude. I'd like to see where it's going to go in the next 10, 20 years. I think even a lot sooner than that. We're already seeing breakthroughs, but I wonder what will happen in the next 5 years. Where everything will be running on electricity for the most part. People will be living a lot longer. It's still wild though, because as much as we're making all this technology, people are still dying in wars as we speak. So and if all those people can come back to life, then it's almost as if fighting a war is stupid. It's we at that point, if all of the soldiers that are killed can regenerate themselves, say some guy got his leg blown off in Kabul, Afghanistan, and now he just, requests his new his leg back. God just says, "Here's your leg." So then there would probably just be robots killing each other. At that point, it would be very strange to have humans doing it. If we die, we get shot in the head, and then it just heals, like in one of these sci-fi movies. I don't know, as much as I want people to live a lot longer, I just wonder if it's really... I believe it's doable. It's just a crazy idea.
It's a crazy idea because we're not using it.
Right. It's only crazy because
going to the moon is a crazy idea.
You're right.
It's
I'm all for crazy ideas. I love crazy ideas. I'm just trying to process it because I've never...
Going to America is crazy idea. Across the ocean is crazy idea. How you looking at? No?
100%. I always say don't be realistic. That's one of my favorite lines.
We should ask ourselves either we want it or not. I want it. I believed that people deeply, they wanted to. They just, as I say, like the grape sour, the sour grapes.
Sure. I think either people are afraid of it, or I don't know. Either they're afraid of it or they doubt it. Either they're afraid of it or they don't believe it can happen. And maybe I think those are both intertwined. Yeah, they're afraid because they won't make it happen. Because they want to make it happen, they're afraid.
You know what we need? We need small success. Like why people believe we're gonna go to Mars, right?
Go to what?
Go to Mars, right? Because we already got the moon.
Right.
We go to space. So we need a small success. Because there's no measure in aging. I can say, oh, it works. This guy, I treat him, and because instead of 60, he lived until his 80s. There's no measure of this, so people cannot see that actually it works. Just in mice, in mice you can see that. Like you treat these mice in similar way, the same age, the same day. These mice died 3 years old or 2.5, and these mice lived 3.5 years. In younger, like it's look younger, it's run faster. So once people gonna see that and believe that is possible, because it's possible. As I said before, it's not a question if it's we know the answer is yes. It's rather a question of how and if we want to do that.
I think most people are going to be on board. I think they're just not going to want to be the only experiment. So, extending life. How long do you think it'll be? unless if you do have more to discuss after my next question, then feel free. But otherwise, we'll wrap it up in a few minutes. What do you think people who aren't wealthy or aren't high on a social class, you know, they're not politicians or very rich people, how long do you think it'll be until everyday normal people, working class people, will be able to, you know, enjoy the breakthroughs of longevity?
The honest question is depends on us.
Okay.
So how fast we gonna see? People ask how fast we gonna see the AI coming. You never know. It's like this. It's gonna
just
come.
comes, yeah.
It's just coming. When we gonna see artificial meat? It depends on us. If we want to, if we go in that direction, if we put some money, if companies and scientists and entrepreneurs and etc. are gonna go this way, so it's gonna be faster.
You're not talking about fake meat like vegan stuff. You're talking about actual meat that's made in a lab, but it tastes, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, people walk in it because people want. They say, okay, to eat meat is not moral, so let's act in this direction. We don't need to kill animals to eat meat. So, same thing as our subject. If you decided that we want to live longer, healthier, we believe in the idea that we not accept what we got and we can achieve more. So eventually politician will go this way because politician goes after the public. Also money gonna come to the field because rich people, what they're looking for is honor, right, and dignity. And once they get it from the public, you know, they get their applause. So they put money on the field.
Interesting. Well, it's always going to start with the wealthier people who can afford it. It's a small social club. It also shows status. It trickles down. The wealthy people get a taste of it first, and they purposely want that to say, you know, I'm rich because I got the magic pill and you don't. It's an exclusive club. Over time, when it starts to not become that important anymore, it's like getting the new iPhone, the new TV, the new thing. The certain club wants it, and then once it's not a big deal anymore, they like, okay, you can have it now.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's fair. So you're very confident that in the next couple of years, they're already working on things, but in the next couple of years, this will actually be a more common thing, a more common theme where people will kind of just accept that it's reality, from what I'm understanding.
People are going to accept that's reality, and people want to go in this direction, and I hope that people going to join us, you know? Like I changed my career, my whole career to that direction, you know? So smartest people than I am, and much more people that understand biology, people that have more money, if they can join to this cause, it's like meteor, the subject gonna be much faster.
Right, it's super cool. Super cool. So if someone is not in the longevity space, you just want biologists, maybe even archaeologists to some degree, who can dig up like older bodies or like mummies and just kind of study them. Does that have anything to do with it, or you wouldn't? Or that would make no sense. I don't know. Someone who can like someone who can do an autopsy.
What I'm saying like every every person can do whatever, you know, like you do the podcast, you know, you do like longevity podcast. Some people translate. They can translate articles. They can translate art, like the knowledge, other language. If you're a video editor, you can make some videos about the subject. So any human being can act in several ways. Obviously, the top are gonna be the scientists and the wealthy guy that put money on the field. But also politicians. It's a human being problem. Like all the human, if they collaborate together, I think it's gonna be faster. and we don't have much time,
Yeah.
so we need to act faster.
It's crazy, yeah. Yeah, man. Life is really short, dude. You realize that the reality is once you get to 35, you've already lived half your life.
Maybe
Because
even less in America.
Maybe even less. So people who go, "Oh yeah, 35, you're so young." It's like, "No, you're really technically halfway through your life, which is crazy, dude. It's not enough time. It's not enough time."
And the question, what we do with a problem, you can say, okay, let's make things faster. Or you can say, let's extend time. Let's buy time.
Listen, let's see if it's possible. I mean, you obviously believe it's completely possible. I want to believe it. We've already done it. We've already extended the average lifespan, so it's already possible to do. But let's see if we can do it past the 120 mark. Because in my head, I still have the religious belief that 120, we can't mess with 120. That's just the decide. That's the deciding thing. That like either God or the divine of some sort said, okay, this is how long it's going to be. So if we can pass 120 and do it several times, like if in my lifetime I see that several people are living past 120, then I'll be convinced.
Okay, we try to convince you with
it.
evidence. That's it.
That's pretty cool. Okay, is there anything else that you wanted to share with me?
If I want to share with you, to order to achieve all that, people need to understand that we need to collaborate. We need to bring people together. We need to bring scientists together.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said before, the people doesn't know each other really much. Like, let's say I have a friend, she work on mitochondria transplant. She doesn't know about what the other guys do about exosomes and how they can collaborate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So bring all this together to one place and run trials on what we already know. Gonna be the future. Gonna make a major fact on life,
Mm-hmm.
all life. So I hope people like join us.
I'm totally on board. I love the idea. I'm pretty confident anyone does. What's interesting is you are going to have religious people that kind of argue it because they'll think you're going against God's word of some sort. But we talked about this. I think that this is, if you feel, whoever's listening to this, if you feel that this concept goes against God, we've already extended life. So if 120 is the cutoff, we'll wait and see. At the end of the day, I do believe that you can do your part and God does the rest. And at the end of the day, man, if I could get 150 years when I was only going to get 80 initially, sign me up, because I'd rather have the option to live longer. Say at 80 I'm done. At 80 I have arthritis and I'm tired and I've whatever and I just don't really care for it anymore. Then so be it. I'm not going to take my own life, but I might not want to live till 150. Not everyone's going to want to. Some people might just want to pull the cord and call it a day. But at least it's nice to have the option.
If you speak about the religious people, you want to pray, you want to walk God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have more time to walk God. You have more time to do mitzvot. You have more time to be close to God.
Especially
right?
if you can do those mitzvot in a very healthy way. Imagine you're like 136 years old and you're just walking to the grocery store.
So
no nothing, no cane, no like walker. You're just walking by yourself.
So this topic, so Judaism is actually speaking about how extend lifespan gonna help you to walk God more. So, but this is another subject, right? So yeah, like if people want to know about the field, they can follow my page, Be Death, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, TikTok. We have all the knowledge. We're trying to bring all the knowledge together. We're not hiding anything we know. And get a look.
Awesome. Fantastic. Guys, make sure to check it out. And I'm going to leave the links in the description of the podcast. So, very interesting conversation today. I now am confident that I'm going to have a lot more time on this earth. So, I'm all here for it. More podcasting, more family time. Well, I got to build the family first. But, you know, I have some.
You have time.
I have plenty of time, God willing. So especially with this new breakthrough. Right? But yeah, it still doesn't mean I'm gonna, you know. It's interesting. Can you imagine people on average get married at 50 because their average lifespan is like 150?
This is gonna change a lot of things.
It's going to change a lot of things. People are going to take more time. They're going to be less of a rush. Well, this has been another episode of Soothing Semantics. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, leave your comments. Do it. Watch it. We look forward to hearing from you. So, make sure again to get in contact with me for any of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, renting, investing, or just have a question for me, or you just want to schmooze, you want to grab a coffee, a plate of some incredible pasta, or some sushi. Sushi's dope. Boys and girls, it has been a great conversation. I hope you made it this far, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.